Yes, Mr. Chaskalson.
Chair, there are two separate issues to address here. The first is the hundreds of pages that Mr. Barnes is brandishing around, and the second is the bank statements for 4 months of Tasmika Construction and Medicare. Let me deal with the spreadsheet first. We will not refer to a single one of those pages. We've made that clear to Mr. Carrim's team. Why we gave it to them is that there is an infographic on page 505 of the bundle that they've had for some time. What we sent them electronically, and the infographics provides a summary of payments from municipalities in the area in respect of which Mr. Carrim is the ANC treasurer, to companies owned by Mr. Carrim. And it gives a breakdown of where the 336 million or 332 million that these municipalities have paid to Mr. Carrim, where it comes from. The infographic provides a summary. We thought that Mr. Carrim would want to know where we got the infographic from, so we gave him a spreadsheet with line items of every single transaction reflecting a payment from one of those municipalities to a company of Mr. Carrim, with tabs broken up by company. And we made clear to him we're not going to refer to any of those line items. They are totaled, but if he wants to total them himself just to check that our numbers on the infographic are right, he can do that. If he wants to dispute any of those transactions, he can do that. He had that electronic spreadsheet, which is really the only sensible one.
For how long has Mr. Carrim had what you say is at page 505?
505 was served with the rest of the bundle on Friday. The electronic spreadsheet was emailed to him yesterday morning before the commencement of proceedings. It was always explained to him that we are not going to refer to any line items on the electronic spreadsheet. That leaves the bank statements for Tasmika and Medicare that were provided this morning. And the background to their discovery is the following. Yesterday in evidence, Mr. Carrim told us for the first time that he had had sight of Medicare bank statements over a period in 2024. This was material that should have been put in a statement, which in turn ought to have been furnished Friday, not last week, but the week before. It wasn't put in the statement, which was furnished 5 days late on Wednesday. So we hear this for the first time yesterday. Following from that, I was going through the Medicare bank statements at 5 o'clock this morning, looking to see what SAP's inflows were there to interrogate the version of Mr. Carrim in relation to the terms of his loan agreement and the idea that he was going to get 10% of all SAP's inflows, but he had waived all of that. I wanted to see how much money he had waived. While I was looking for that purpose, I stumbled across the fact that there were two substantial payments from Tasmika Construction, another company of Mr. Carrim, into Medicare 24, which he didn't mention in his statement, and which I would like to ask him about because he certainly should have mentioned them in his statement. The one payment is a payment of $1 million on the 27th of June 2024. The second payment is a payment of $1.12 million on 7 October 2024. There is no innocent explanation for just overlooking the fact that more than 2 million rands beyond what you have disclosed also happen to be paid. The reason that these documents were made available to his legal team today and not earlier was, first of all, he filed his statement late. Second of all, in his statement, he didn't disclose these payments. Third of all, in his statement, he didn't disclose the fact that he was he had sight of the bank transactions on Medicare 24. In any one of those three respects, they would have had these bank statements more than a week ago. So they can't complain about getting them now. And the bank statements really reflect two payments which I've described on both sides. If they want 45 minutes to take an instruction from Mr. Carrim, if they want an hour to take an instruction from Mr. Carrim, I can understand that. They need to understand what his version is, whether he was concealing them, whether there is an innocent explanation. But an hour is more than enough to do that. They then make the allegation that the contra spreadsheet that we gave them, just to show that not only do these numbers match, but in fact, they are shown by FNB to be the same transaction by virtue of the contras. They make the suggestion that we have had that document and withheld it from them. That is a very irresponsible suggestion. What we receive from FNB when we get bank statements from FNB is a list of all the contras. So we have contras for the entire Medicare 24 account, thousands and thousands of transactions. We don't search on that set of transactions for Tasmika construction unless we have reason to search for Tasmika construction. This morning I had reason to search for Tasmika construction. So I searched for Tasmika construction and identified the two entries that were provided to them this morning. I then copied those two entries into a separate spreadsheet this morning, sometime between 5 and 6, and gave it to them. Nothing has been withheld from them. They received that spreadsheet within 15 minutes of its creation. They can look at the metadata of the spreadsheet. So in our view, they are entitled to a short stand down to take instructions on the documents that they withheld from us and that we have now discovered, or the information that they withheld from us and we have now discovered. They're certainly not entitled to a postponement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chaskalson.
Just to be.
He then said to me he got my numbers from one of my security guys, head of security, who's on the website of Fusion. He phoned that guy, asked him for my numbers, and that's how I got my numbers, and he called me.
He came to you cold, basically. It's for all intents and purposes. It's
Yes,
someone
and,
walking from the street, knocking at your door, and saying, I need 10 million rand, and you give it to him in these circumstances.
Commissioner, when he came to me, he didn't come from the street. He came in a Rolls Royce with about 25.
From the street, I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, he came with
From
about.
from the street, as in.
Yes,
This is not an acquaintance. This is not someone that you have done business with. This is not someone that you have even met socially, because that's what you're telling us. You have absolutely nothing to do with him. All you know is he's a player in the industry in which you have a company. So I mean streets in that way.
Yes, he was very impressive with his first appearance. I'm saying he came with maybe a big entourage. I think there was maybe like 25, 30 bodyguards. He came with the whole entourage. So I saw capacity. I saw someone that knows what he's doing. We can deal with the two.
Okay, the Medicare 24 and...
those documents and my gang. At the moment, my offices are closed because of the threats. So I have those documents. Once those threats just subside, my office is working remotely now. My people are working remotely. But those documents will be made available as soon as I get him off again. As soon as it just comes down, maybe the next week and a half.
Thank you. So that's both the Mamela agreement relating to Chrome Core and
Yes.
the draft agreement with Medicare 24.
Yes.
Then the accountant who advised you in relation to payments from Mr. Matlala.
My legal team will send an email to the instructing attorneys with the email address and the contact details. You can just send your request there.
Thank you very much.